We spent 2 days at Standish Hickey State Recreation Area. Nice park or campground area. I wouldn't recommend it on the weekends. It gets a little crazy there. So we're gonna hopefully have a nice, enjoyable ride today. Nothing really too strenuous. Just taking it easy. We're on the 101 now, which is going to take us through a lot of Benbow, Garberville, Redway, a lot of these little towns. I don't know if we're going to go through Humboldt, but just heading north, keep going north, and eventually back to the coast. You can see the trees are just amazing and awesome here. Different culture. This is kind of where all the pot is grown here in California. I learned a new term, humbum. Yeah, humbum, Humboldt bums, kind of people that come here to harvest or grow marijuana. But definitely a different feel, a different vibe than what we've been through. And I'm hoping the road will have more shoulders. You know, it's a busier road, especially today, but in the weekend. But it is a busier road than the one, so I'm hoping it'll be, wider shoulders. The road does look nicer. It looks like it's been paved just recently, and it looks like they're trying to add wider shoulders to it. But just looking forward to a nice, relaxing ride today. I met quite a few cyclists back at the campground who made suggestions about different routes and different places to go. So I think Avenue of the Giants was one that was mentioned. They said you could get lost in there. I mean, just you could spend days and days just exploring, and so we'll see. We've got food for a few days, so we'll see. But got to keep moving, keep heading north, and I think the next big town is Eureka, I believe. But there's a lot of little towns that we're going to go through, and should be fun. It's been a few days, 2 days, so got to get the legs warmed up again. It's been really warm in this area, they said, and it has been quite warm. So once we get back to the coast, probably will cool down a little bit more. This brown dirt is packed pretty hard, so I can actually ride on it without sinking in. I was hoping it being the weekend, the logging trucks wouldn't be out, but I guess they work every day. It's fairly early in the morning. I'm hoping to find a good spot to rest and relax for the day before a lot of the traffic gets on the road. And before the sun really starts to heat things up. So, not expecting a long ride today. Looking for Route 271, I think. It's kind of an alternative to the 101. I've been told is a nice ride, less traffic. So, looking for that and a campground for 2 nights. This area reminds me quite a bit of when we were kids. When I was a kid. Church campouts on the 4th of July up in northern Arizona. That was a big thing. That and summer camp in Orr, Minnesota. This reminds me of that as well. Just beautiful. This makes up for that rough climb getting here. One guy told me that once I get into Oregon and Washington, there's a lot more flat areas. Of course, he also told me that the logging trucks don't run on the weekend. So we'll see. I don't need any more confusion in my life. Confusion Hill is seeing believing. Confusion Hill is seeing believing. Open. Some of these roadside attractions are kind of from a bygone era, different time, when it was a little slower to go cross country, and it was a bigger deal to go cross country. A sign, so I'm not sure what river we're above, or what. It's almost like a creek, it looks like, not really a river, but Seems as we are going north, it is a little drier. You can see by the growth on the side of the road. Now there's a sign up here, exit 625 for 271 in 1 mile. Now, back at Standish Hickey Campground, one of the cyclists who's, I guess, ridden this area a lot, told me not to take the first exit to 271, to take the second one. So, don't know if I should follow that or not. I don't know if the first part of 271 has more hills or not. Then again, he's also the same guy who said the loggers aren't working on the weekends. And that it'll be much flatter in Oregon and Washington. And then about 6 days he has to fly to Bahamas or someplace to help pilot a boat or bring a sailboat back to Florida. And that he just finished a 500-mile walk across Spain, or in Spain. He had, story after story about all his adventures. Could be true, I don't know. I'd love to see his passport. So he didn't look like the type of person who would be out traveling the world, but I guess there is no real set look, or anybody can do it. It's kind of odd is every now and then I get a whiff of cannabis. And this is definitely weed capital of California. That last stop I got attacked by mosquitoes and itch, so I'm gonna stop and put something on the bites. I picked this up back at that little store. Hemp cut and scrape herbal salve. Seems to work pretty well. Help get rid of some of this itching from these mosquito bites. Maybe that's what I smell every so often, is this stuff. But yeah, quite a few of the cyclists back at Standish Hickey Campground, they were passing the weed around, the pot, with they had the pipes and everything, and nobody seemed to care, it's no big deal. So it was interesting. a lot of them, well, most of them were heading south, either to San Diego or San Francisco or somewhere in between, or but they all agreed they wanted to get back onto the Highway 1, you know, back to the coast, cooler weather, no mosquitoes. They had a lot of climbing though to do today to get there. I can attest to that. They're going to have some climbs. Hopefully we will not have much climbing today. Yeah, the industry around here seems to be wood and weed. Lots of logging and lots of growing. It's a nice little climb, but it's not real steep. And we have a shoulder, so that makes it much easier.